From Edgemont, and I'm doing a major update. We've updated our content for the 2016 election, and we're going to be putting a lot of people on blast and exposing these people. The problem that we have, especially in the first district, basically the city, but especially this first district, we're electing the same exact people with different faces. And that's one of the problems. We can't distinguish who our friend is from who our foe is. Recently, I've been attacked, and people say, why are you attacking Cheryl Brown? Cheryl Brown's nothing to me. I can't vote for her. She's not my elected representative. Jose Medina is. But I do have a concern about this warehousing that they're trying to do on the Inland Empire. You would think as a politician, you would not engage in this warehouse madness as what happened here in Moreno Valley. But at Cheryl Brown's symposium, the same players were there. John Husing, Emperor Ito Benvizi, got to use his title, Emperor Ito Benvizi, who owns this town. And they used the exact same playbook. And you had protesters there, and thank God that they are smart enough to see what happened to us, and they're going to get ahead of this and get exposure to it. But what I want to talk about is the fact that there is an agenda that you know nothing about. 360 degrees of association. I've been talking about it, and I'm going to continue to talk about it. Cheryl Brown is a big supporter of Denise Fleming. Denise Fleming, who's a Johnny-come-lately, is best friends for life with LaDonna Jimson. LaDonna Jimson was friends formerly with Victoria Baca. They started in the Democratic Club years ago before Baca split out. LaDonna Jimson was also good friends with Bill Beatty. You can go back and even see a video montage, audio montage of her talking about how Bill Beatty came to her and wanted her to run because he was running for the assembly and all this other stuff. And we continually fall for it, and we want change, but we can't get change because we keep electing the same people with different faces. Now, a lot of the Denise Fleming supporters have emailed me, and I mean, they talk about me like a dog. I mean, when other black people, now I'm not with the N-word, but when other black people older than me, women, are using the N-word and dogging me out, I know I'm doing something right. So the longer they keep doing that, the more I'm going to expose what's really going on so that you, the voter, can understand. These people have an agenda that has nothing to do with you. It has to do with them lining their pockets. And you're going to look at candidates that are going to be in this election cycle that are going to have Highland Fairview money. But again, Highland Fairview is very smart. They're not going to directly give anybody any money. What they're going to do is they're going to use their Orange County contacts and their front streets so that it looks like they have no play in it. And that goes to show you how coward Emperor Ito Benvizi is, because he knows that if you know his ghost candidate is there, by the time you elect that person, because you're not doing your homework, it's too late. Even though you can do a recall at any time. But the recall is kind of expensive. So you've got Mayor Gutierrez out here who's taking credit for all kinds of stuff. And you also got LaDonna Jimson. LaDonna Jimson is going to try to take credit for things that she had no clue about. Okay? Adrian Mitchell Park, let me go back a little bit. Recently, there's been emails exchanged between she and I. Now, everybody says, well, why are you doing that? Why are you putting her on blast like that? Because as a politician as she is, I knew she is going to try to take credit for my ideas. And I wanted to protect myself, again, which is another reason why I do this show. Because the more public light I have on me, the less likely I'm going to be attacked or anything happen to me, like by an accident. So I put the emails out there so that it's public record and there's no doubt who has been thinking of these ideas and doing things. I'm gonna do a test for you. I want you, right now the viewer, to think about what LaDonna Jimson's vision was when she ran for office in 2014. And this ain't sour grapes, because I got my platform done using my representative, which is LaDonna Jimson. So a lot of things that I got done, I'm happy about. The only thing that I'm really discouraged about is the animal shelter, but I talk about that animal shelter every chance I get because it's not a done deal and it's not over. And I have a lot of other people who are helping me. And that isn't even my idea. That is something, I'm an animal lover, so I'm a part of that, and I want to be a part of that. I'll do everything I can. to get that done. But I want you to do me a favor. I want you to think back 2 years ago and think about what was the platform that LaDonna Jimson ran on, and what has LaDonna Jimson done in the district, not just Edgemont neighborhood, that's where I live. And I don't expect anybody that doesn't live in my neighborhood to understand what's going on here. What has LaDonna Jimson done in her own right without me being attached to it? I'll give you a quick minute to think about that. You watch. Thought of anything yet? I'll give you a little bit more time. Okay, I think I've made my point. I'm going to ask you, just to be fair, have you thought of anything? Me neither. And that's the problem. We keep electing people with no ideas, no vision. If you want change, you have to elect people that want change, that know what change is about. And change is not electing the same people. Now, I'm not a candidate for anything as of now. And I don't want or plan to be a candidate not knowing what the future is going to hold. I would rather continue to do my show. I would rather continue to expose these people, because you guys need to know. You guys are too busy working and doing what you're doing, raising your families and stuff like that. And I think this is a very important thing in our community. And one thing about Edgemont is, if you're running for mayor and you're running for this district, you better have a vision, because there's nothing else to talk about. We've sold everything to warehouses. So the only thing to talk about is upgrading Edgemont and the water problem. We want to know what you're going to do about that water problem. We want to know how are you going to solve these streets and get money in here and development. What are you going to do in this area? So these are pivotal, important projects. But if you've been watching the emails between me and Ms. Jimson, I asked a question over a year ago. I was the one on public record that was lobbying to get that extra money for Nason Street into Edgemont, all of it. Gutierrez wanted some for his district, because there's streets bad all over the city, but we don't even have sidewalks over here in some areas. We don't even have streets over there. And I understand what's going on in the Box Springs water problem. I live here. I'm only less than a mile away from the water tanks. So Miss Jimson, even though I asked her, said, "Hey, what's going on?" It's been a year. We've received no updates, no reports, no nothing. And I wasn't the only one saying that. And it's been a year. So I said, I remember I was bragging about it, like, yeah, we just got this done, it's going to come, but when? That's the problem with Edgemont. We are so apathetic that these politicians know, if you just say something, say it's going to happen, Edgemont will forget about it, and you can take that money and use it somewhere else. I'm trying to hold you accountable to what you said you're going to do for us. It's been 30 years. We're not waiting anymore. I am not the 7-year-old kid now. I'm a grown-ass man, and I'm going to hold my representatives accountable, even if I have to do it by myself. And the funny thing is, I got a call from Melissa Martinez. She was thinking the same exact thing as she's driving, picking up her kids, and she's looking at the roads, and she's saying, wow, it's been a long time. What's up with the roads? But yet, by the warehouse up by Ellsworth, they're doing work up there. But Miss Jimson, if you read the email, she comes back and says, "How dare you question me? I know better than you." Well, you damn sure better know better than me. You're the one that goes into the secret sessions. I don't go into secret sessions. Perception is everything, everybody. And have you noticed that when you hold these elected officials accountable, they don't like it. They don't like it because you're bringing everything to light. And that's what we need to do. And that's why I'm here, fighting to expose these people. There is an agenda that has nothing to do with us. These people are not going to be here in 25 years. Yeah, I'm in Edgemont. I could have moved anywhere I wanted to go. The other side of the city, which I'm glad I didn't, because the WLC is over there. I could have not come back at all. But I came back to my home. I love where I'm at. I'm proud of where I'm at. It's quiet over here. All the crime is on the east side of the city, and that's another representative's problem. But we're going to do what we got to do because this is the future here. This is going to be my vision of this area. This is going to be a 21st century. When people come into the city from the west side, coming out of Riverside, the first thing they're going to see is a brand new 21st century development. Now, why we have a warehouse on the east side of the city, not near an interstate, with all the trucks and stuff, I have no idea. But I'm going to do something about my neighborhood because that's all I can do. So I have a vision of where I want to go and where I think we should go. It's not, I understand other people have visions too, and that's a collective thing. But if you're going to be running for office, you have to have a vision that people also believe in it. Do you want to do that test again and see what was LaDonna Jimson's vision? And people say, well, why are you against LaDonna? I'm not against LaDonna Jimson. We've done a lot of great things together. She has championed my ideas, and I'm very thankful for that. But I'm not a stooge either. I don't go with, oh, she's done all this, all that. We need change. We need people, that are going to be, this is not a part-time job anymore. This is a full-time job. We need somebody that has enthusiasm and understand what they're talking about. I want my neighbors to be proud of where we're at. We are one of the oldest neighborhoods in the city. We just recently made the top 10 in the poorest cities in Southern California category. This warehouse stuff is not working. When is this council going to understand that? I want you to imagine this. Think about this. Why does Ito have $250,000 to keep me from gaining office? I want you to ask yourself that question. Why? $250,000 bounty has been put on my head. Why? Why, if he wants what's so great for this city, why is he trying to stop democracy and keep me from gaining office? And I'm not even running for anything. Why? Ask yourself that. Is it because I'm going to vote warehousing? Is it because I'm going to make this a military area? Is it because I'm going to better the area? Is I'm going to stand up for my constituents and I'm not taking it? Why was I debating Ito Benvizi during the WLC wars in the last 2 years in this area and LaDonna Jimson wasn't? Ask yourself that. Out of all the people they could have asked, they asked me to do it. And of course, he took over the whole thing and whatever. But that's not the thing. But the point is, I was there. Why is that? Is it because I was one of the first people to graduate the logistics course in Norco and I know what I'm talking about? Is that it? I just want everybody to think. Now, we have an election coming up, and this is almost a repeat of 2014. You have the same exact candidates. You have here are your choices: Victoria Baca or LaDonna Jimson. Those are your choices. If I happen to make the ballot, then you're going to have me as well. I want you to think about this. You have Victoria Baca, you have LaDonna Jimson. What is the difference between the two? In 2 years, what did Victoria Baca do for the district? In 2 years, what did LaDonna Jimson do in the district without my help? Photo op master, photo op master. I can't say, I understand you have to be in certain places, but I'll tell you what, if you want a real shakeup in Moreno Valley politics, you might want to start doing your homework. And you might want to start paying attention to who Mr. Benvizi is going to throw into these elections. Because the only way his candidates can win is by splitting the vote. Splitting that vote. And that's how he's going to do it. That's the only way his candidates are going to win. They can't win in this head-up election. Now, Denise Fleming people, I mean, I don't know why I'm on their radar. Yeah, I said a few things. It's one thing if I was lying and making stuff up. There's this guy named Evan Moron, I think his name is, Evan Moron. And he has multiple personalities on Facebook, and he's complaining now because he's been banned by the press enterprise. Now, you've got to be doing a lot of stupid stuff to be banned by the press enterprise. And it's funny how when the press enterprise is pro WLC, pro Highland Fairview, oh, that's a great newspaper. But when they're objective and they're anti, oh, it's a terrible paper, stop your subscription, don't do it there anymore. We have to be more vigilant and stop letting these people play us for fools, is what I'm trying to say. This election is going to be pivotal, people. If you want a change, you got to vote and make a change and vet these candidates. We did a recall of Victoria Baca. We still didn't get the majority in the council. If we had gotten that majority in that council, the WLC would not be here right now. It would be a done deal, I think. Because you got to remember, LaDonna Jimson voted for the elements of the WLC. She affirmed it. And it doesn't matter. The vote was going to be anyway. It doesn't matter. As a military person, if I'm out there in the field, and even though the politicians have decided, oh, well, we're going to pull out whatever, you don't leave me in the field. A lot of people did a lot of work. And that goes back to my point of 360 degrees of association. The establishment, these people are all the same. You have to make a decision. It doesn't matter how much money Mr. Benvizi gives these people. All it takes is you to vote the right candidate. Now, who that candidate is right now, I couldn't tell you. It's too early to determine. We have to wait and see. But I'm going to tell you this election is pivotal if you want to change. But before I go, and this is just the first step, we've upgraded our thing. We're going to invite all the candidates to come out. I want to invite LaDonna Jimson, because this is not personal. And that's another thing. Everybody takes everything so personal. This is not personal. LaDonna Jimson, you're my representative. I want to see you on the show. All the other candidates who are thinking about running, I want to see you on the show, and I want to ask you some hard questions. You are invited. Victoria Baca, you are invited to come to this show and explain your 3 investigations and the current FPPC investigation as a candidate and get ahead of that story, even though I know the real story. But you're welcome to come on the show. Or a surrogate. But then again, I would rather have you come out, whatever the deal is. George Price, you're welcome to come on the show. Liar Gutierrez, you're welcome to come on the show. This is what we're dealing with, and I put that challenge out there. It's there, so it's up to them. Millie Bailey, Highland Fairview, former Highland Fairview employee, she came onto the show. She's kind of young. Maybe she's kind of brash. Maybe she's very daring. But I'll give her this. She was in the WLC wars. Denise Fleming wasn't. But here she is. She's ready to run. Vote for me. Everything is done. I wasn't out there getting signatures. I wasn't out there talking about it. I didn't go to city council. Oh, but my excuse is this. School board is the same night as the city council. Luis Palomares, myself, and others were able to go to both council meetings. Yeah, I might be late at one, but I'm going to both. You couldn't take one day and make a public statement? Get the hell out of here with that. Again, we need to vet these candidates. Cheryl Brown is a big supporter of Denise Fleming. Cheryl Brown seems to be on the Ito Benvizi gravy train. If Cheryl Brown is a big supporter of Denise Fleming, and Cheryl Brown is a Ito Benvizi supporter, Denise Fleming is a big supporter of LaDonna Jimson because they're best friends for life. What do you think is going to happen? It's called a curveball. And they're throwing it at you. What are you going to do? I'm Donovan Saadiq. This has been News from Edgemont. We're going high tech. I'm just calling it the way it is. It's up to you.